Hi Silhouette friends, my name is Liz.
And I'm Sam.
And we are the sisters and makers usually over at the Pretty Life Girls on our YouTube channel or prettylifegirls.com. But we're so excited today to be on Silhouette's channel because we're going to make a cool project with you with our Silhouette Cameo Pro.
Today we're going to be making a large-scale wall pennant, banner, flag, whatever you might call it, with a quote on it. This is a more minimalist project, and doing something like that on a large scale is really on trend right now, and it could not be easier with the Cameo Pro. If you're not familiar with the Cameo Pro, it cuts up to 24 inches wide, and it just makes it so fun to make these huge pieces of art. And today we're going to be using heat transfer vinyl. We're just using black. This is 20 inches wide, so we're not going the full 24 inches, but still, this is wider than any of the other machines can cut.
Yes.
And then we're just going to be applying it on this large banner flag pennant, as we said.
Yes, if you don't have something like this, it could go on a poster board, it could go on a large canvas, you could even just cut it with removable vinyl and put it right on your wall if you wanted to.
We've used the Cameo Pro to make projects with adhesive vinyl on posters, which is so fun. Like we have this Pretty Life Girls sign over here. We did a really cute Christmas poster. This is our first heat transfer project, so I'm super excited.
Me too.
Should we do it?
Let's do it.
Okay. To create our design, we're going to open Silhouette Studio, and first we're going to adjust some settings here in the page setup panel. So we have Cameo Pro selected as our machine. You can select which cutting mat you're going to use. We're not using one for this project, so we'll select none. And then you can choose the media size as well. We're using custom. It's 20 inches wide. You can use this slider to adjust or these arrows. And we're going to leave the height at 24. And then if we need to adjust a little bit more after we add our design, we can do that. So now I'm just opening this image and I'm going to size it to this canvas here. So now this is an image, it's not ready to cut. If we go over here, you'll see usually there are red outlines around everything that's going to be cut, and there's nothing here. So since this is an image, it doesn't have any cut lines. So we're going to trace it. We're going to open the trace panel here, select trace area, and then click and drag to surround the whole thing. And you'll see that it selects it. And then click trace. And if we move the image out of the way, you can see that now we have this cut file, and that looks good.
Okay, so once your design is ready, you're going to load your vinyl into your machine. This machine can cut matless, but there is a 24-inch cutting mat if you do a project that needs that. But since our project's also longer than the cutting mat would be, we're going to cut it matless.
So depending on the width of your material, you can unlock this and adjust, and that will make sure that it grabs the vinyl really well so it's not slipping and sliding. You can also use under here, there's a roll feeder that would hold on to your roll and feed it through nice. This roll doesn't want to stay, so we're just going to watch it.
Let's go for it.
Okay, so we're just going to line it up with these wide pieces of vinyl. It's kind of a two-man job getting it loaded. So Liz is going to hold it and I'm going to push this arrow. There we go.
Did it.
Okay. So now we're going to open the send panel and check our settings here for cutting. So we're going to change our material if we need to. We're cutting with heat transfer vinyl, so this is good. We're going to leave it. Since our machine is connected to our computer, it's sensing the auto blade in the machine and auto-populating that we're going to cut. If you need to tweak the cut settings at all, you can do that here. Right here shows us that the Pro is connected and ready to cut. So then we can click send, and this message will pop up. Generally, when you cut a heat transfer project, this will come up just as a reminder that you probably want to mirror your design. And since we're doing words, we will want to do it. So we're going to say send mirrored, and then the machine's going to start cutting. All right, so then what we're just going to do is use a hook and start pulling out all the pieces of excess.
All right, so we got this whole thing weighted. We're not exactly sure where we want to place this, so we're going to kind of play around with that for a second. We positioned it where we want it to go, and now you can just use like a tea towel, a piece of fabric, a pillowcase, put it over, and then you're going to use a hot, dry iron and start ironing down the letters.
Or a heat press if you have one of those.
Yes. So you can peel up a corner and see if your letters are sticking, and then you can start to slowly peel back your backing. And if any of the letters come up as you're peeling, just lay it back down, put your towel or your piece of fabric back over, and do that section again.
Once you get the backing off, something I do is I like to flip it, or like if I do it on a shirt, I'll do it inside out, and I'll run the iron over the back side just to really make sure that it's adhered well to the fabric. All right, let's look at it. Are you ready?
Ready?
Oh, it's so cute. I love it.
I love it too.
It's so big.
It's so big.
But it was so easy.
I know, and I think about like when you go to a boutique and you see a piece of art this large, you're never going to find as good of a deal as what you could make it for.
Totally.
Yeah. For more projects like this one, be sure to come on over to our channel at Pretty Life Girls. We do a lot of silhouette there also. And you can also follow us on PrettyLifeGirls.com.
Thank you so much for watching. Happy making.